Welcome back.
The Salt
Sauna
Soul.
Were you ready for that?
I was not ready for that.
We're not ready? We are so delighted today that we actually have our first guest. Round of applause.
You really did it in the circle. Okay, deal. No, I didn't. Oh,
Your teachers were not.
Oh, no.
Grew up in the hood. You don't have time to be doing all that clapping like that.
Oh, well, some of us.
You know, we surviving, baby.
Where?
You know, Inglewood, Chicago.
Oh,
Yeah.
you survived? Okay. That's all good.
I can talk about that for hours, but no, let's stay focused.
I'm not going to talk about Garfield Park.
Okay.
Y'all are just hijacking my show now.
Oh. Okay, rolling back.
No. We keep this.
Okay.
This is authentic.
Okay, can we please focus? All right, so we have our first guest today, Mrs. TV Stone. She is an executive coach, my coach actually, and we wanted to bring her in to have a conversation around mental health as entrepreneurs, as business leaders, and kind of get some of her insights as a wonderful coach and like how coaching is beneficial to leaders, like what some of the differences between just talking to a friend versus talking to a coach and things of that nature. So that's going to be our topic today. And before we get started, we must pour our tea.
Yes. Have some. What's today's blend?
Today's blend is Everly Tea Ancient Calm. It is a mix. I'll start with our guest of honor. It is a mix of sage, lemon balm, and the mint blend that is signature to Halo Heat Sauna Studios. Which, wait a minute, this is like the first time in a long time that we are not at studio. I'm happy. I'm happy that we're filming not at studio today. And if you would like sugar, we have sugar.
I'd like a taster without sugar.
Okay.
Okay, so cheers.
Cheers.
Like the scent of it.
Oh my goodness, I don't even need
I like it.
sugar.
I like
Very herbal.
it.
And see, I like mint anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So this is perfect. If you have a good tea, you really should need very little sweetener.
Mm-hmm. Look at the color on it. So.
All right.
All right. So let's get into today's topic. Where would we like to begin?
Well, first, let's start. Why don't you
You should fill in there like, hey, my carrier podcast.
No, let's start with, tell us a little bit about you, your background. How did you even get started in coaching?
Well, I'd have to say that the road to coaching started when I was younger. I'm a helper and I'm a leader. And with the two combined, and I'm high D, for those of you who know.
Director.
Yeah, those are my words. So when you put those things together, you have a leader that draws others, and they're typically, when they see that helper in you, what they identify is the fact that she may know the solution. And I love mysteries. I love mysteries. So I believe there's no problem that does not have a solution. That's my philosophy. So if I'm having a hard time coming up with a solution, I just dig in deeper. And when you have the hurting, or when you have frustrated business owners, or when you have a single mom who is at her wit's end, they will gravitate towards someone who cares, someone who have lived through some things, and someone who will take you to the point of that solution that you were telling yourself may be impossible. But for some reason, I believe that lady may have the answer. And so that is how I got started, even at an early age. And I just owned it. I owned it, and I applied that in the corporate realm. But I noticed that the solutions that I was applying in the corporate realm as a fixer and a troubleshooter, those things just blended in with the rest of the day's tasks. But when I'm applying that to a small business or a solopreneur or that executive that's by themselves and it feels like they're alone in their world and they really can't seek help because that may affect the business, those are the ones that come to me and I take them off to the side, build them up, give them solutions, and then help them to apply them in their world and hopefully become contagious in it. So I would have to say this has been something I've done since I was old enough to present that leadership side of me.
Nice. And so something that you mentioned and what we previously talked about in the podcast was executives kind of feeling alone and not having, someone to talk to because everybody's in the business. So can you touch a little bit on why it's important to seek someone outside to be able to talk to them in order to move the business or your companies forward?
One of the things that I do assessments. And you guys know this. I've assessed your team. I've been able to help you with other areas of your business based on the assessments of the individuals and the collective of them. And so when you have an executive and I'm just chatting with them at maybe an event, after hours, whatever, and I kind of can sense it. They don't realize it, but it comes through in how they communicate, how closed off they are. It comes through in the decisions that they make. How safe are they being? How reckless are they being? It comes off in how they respond to the pressures. And so when I'm communicating with these leaders, these owners, these solopreneurs, these salesmen who are out there and they feel like they have to exude success in order to receive and reach success, that's a lonely world. And you have internal processors and external processors, both of which, if they don't fully process what's going on and come up with that core problem, what happens is it almost starts to fester and bleed out into other areas of their lives. And see, when someone's talking to me, I can almost smell it. And that is the opposite of what they want conveyed in their conversations. Sales conversations, boardroom conversations, and then bleeding off into their personal lives as well. So I believe the main reason why individuals should go and get help, I'm one of those people where I just blaze through. So I'm not saying I have this completely down. Personally, it's easier for me to help outwardly than inwardly. So you're talking to someone who understands. When I listen to what I'm saying and it sounds a little off, I have to take a step back and say, I think I need to talk to someone. Because if I talk to someone, then they can give me that outside view that expose what I may not be seeing. And they may have gone through what I'm going through, and they may actually be able to reveal something that's really simple that I can apply, that can be the change I need. So I have to say that in order to be holistically healthy, which includes your business, It includes your personal life. But when all of that fades to black, it's all about you and what you bring to all those tables. To have someone speak into your situations is key for you to be able to be your best self in all those situations.
Can I give? Well, I'm listening to you, and a scenario pops into my head. I think it's something that I may have been guilty of many years ago, and I try to be mindful and not fall into that pitfall as of today. But like, let's say like the scenario to make it a little bit more tangible. Let's say if someone running a business and they coming off desperate because they're not hit because of sales numbers or whatever, or they feeling financial crutch about not meeting their goals. But part of the sales process, it's also deal making process, is advantageous to actually make decisions or move in a way where other parties are seeing you being desperate. Right? It's like going to the grocery store when you're hungry. You're not going to make the right decision.
Yeah, that I don't do.
In that window. Right? And so sometimes I remember back when I used to be, when I was a personal trainer running that whole business as well, sometimes I took certain deals because I just needed the money, right? And then I found out later, I was like, that doesn't really make sense. Why would I let a client pay me for a year in advance and then put accurate terms on that in terms of an expiration date and things of that nature? So then I'm stuck in a deal that I locked in at the time. Yes, those thousands of dollars came in. It seemed like a good, influx, right? But it really wasn't a good deal. But I also realized I made the deal because I was also kind of desperate. And I am showing that. I'm tipping my hand. And because I didn't at the time, didn't have a coach, I was doing it on my own. I learned a lot of things through trial and error. The benefit to me from what you're saying is to have someone to say, hey, Steve, all right. Even though your account or even though your cash flow is not where you need it to be, you still believe in yourself, in your process, and don't undermine the value and still present yourself in amount because the product and services what you're selling hasn't changed. It doesn't matter. You're still giving this quality, whether it's reflecting in your bank account or not. So if you close this deal and give the same quality, but you undermine the arrangement, you're undercutting everything for long term. So is that type of scenario that you're talking about that you was just suggesting?
I run into that all the time. And when I come in as a rescuer of a business, many times I go back and see deals that they've made out of desperation. And these deals are actually contrary to what they needed to do in order for them to, quote unquote, prosper. So I need $5,000. I am going to go and I'm going to sell this service or this product for $2,000 because I need that $5,000. See, the processing don't make sense. But when you're desperate, there are even enzymes going through your body that will dictate whether or not you make wise decisions. So and I'm going to put in a plug. This is important. This is why I'm a coach, because I was going around helping businesses because I had the corporate role that was underwriting me going out there helping these mom and pops and mom and pop businesses, and because I saw them folding. And all I had to do was give them a nugget of wisdom. They apply it, and then they were rolling. So, but to run into these organizations, these with these caliber. I mean, I'm not talking about little bitty businesses. I'm talking about 500 employees that are being affected by decisions that are being made by someone who's desperate. So you have salaries, you have families represented, you have budget items, you have an overhead, you have all of these things where you needed $5,000 and you're lowering your standard. You're sending a different message about your value. And you're saying, I'll take two. That says a lot more about there being a problem that needs to be solved and you just can't see what the problem is. More so than, man, I need to hustle. People, they're getting that mixed up.
And I want your opinion on what message does that say to the third parties that you interact with when you function in that capacity? When you don't have someone to remind you, tap you on the shoulder that you are even slipped into it. What message are you sending to the customer base, to your employees, to the people that you gave them $10,000 worth of value for $2,000? How do they see you? Because I think sometimes business owners don't realize, like, you are sending a message to these people, and they interpret you and viewing you in a particular light. And I think more business owners, if they know exactly what you're about to tell them, they will rethink about being more mindful about. So what do you think? What message when you functioning like that?
Well, that message
to others. That
message is, I don't really know what I'm doing.
Ooh.
I don't really know how to run a business. I really don't believe in myself. I am guilty of this, and I think anyone who owns a business come to a point where they are face to face with that aspect of themselves in some way or another. And I also coach coaches. So when I have a coach sitting in front of me and they're saying, "Oh, I think I should charge, I should lower my price and charge just $500. I'm just throwing that out there, rather than $3,000, because no one's biting. What you're doing is those customers who are out there, and it may not be a multitude like you thought it was going to be. It may be a few. You have to find them, but in the process of you finding them, you have to be patient, because sometimes when you get desperate, we'll go back to that. When you get desperate and you say, "Oh my goodness, I don't have the response that I was looking for. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness, I don't have the dollars coming in that I thought would come in. Oh my goodness." So when you get to the point where you're ready to settle down, you step down there, and this dollar amount that you know you're worth, we'll say $3,000, is now being shrunk down to meet what you think they want. You are eliminating the possibilities of you reaching the people you really want. Your market. Mm-hmm. Who are you trying to reach? You're trying to reach the people who will pay $3,000 or more. They're looking for that level, that standard of service. Now they're going to pass you up because you're saying, "I'm not that. I'm actually only worth $500. So be careful with your discounting. Be careful with your giveaways. Be careful with all of those things you actually don't realize is screaming desperation. It's lowering their impression of you, and it's coming from you to them. Mm. This isn't someone else saying, "Oh, don't go with them. They're not worth it." It's you saying, "Oh, don't really come to me because I'm not worth it." You don't want to give off that impression, and you most definitely don't want your staff getting the impression that this place is not worth it either. You will start to see that pour into the morale of your employees, as well as the service that's being presented. So it's always good to have a coach. It's always good to have someone speak into your situations. Even if you feel like something is off, when are you gonna identify it? You're going 200 miles an hour. Sometimes it's just good to have a coach on retainer so that they're checking in and they can tell when something's mm-hmm. off, even when you can't. And see, that's what I was guilty of, because I go 200 miles an hour. And back in the day, I make sure now I have people around me able to speak into me, which are these two do a great job. You need to ring the back TV, So I have to have those voices, because I have identified that as something that helps me stay healthy in business, in my private life, and it helps me to also be more transparent, because we as leaders feel like we need to keep all of that contained. Mm-hmm. And when you keep things contained, mm-hmm. it tends to fester. Mm-hmm. and someone pushed that just slightly pushed that spot, what's going to come out? If you really want to be in control, release some.
I think that's powerful words. And I think one more question I really want to ask: the difference between coaching versus talking to your friends about things, and why it is more beneficial to have a non-friend to talk to. Like, you still have a friend, but why is the coach so valuable from the mental standpoint of executives and business owners?
So we do have a tendency of wanting people like ourselves around us. I'm not that person, because I believe iron sharpens iron. And that means there's going to be a rubbing of friction, an uncomfortability there that will bring out the best of me. And so when you have people who are your friends, when you have people who agree with you, when you have people who see things your way, then they're not really doing you justice. I believe that you need to have people around you that can, because you're in the forest and you're hugging the trees. So here you are in the middle of it all, and you need someone who's back here that's not your buddy. Someone back here who will be able to look into the situation and say, hey, did you see that? Hey, did you notice this? Hey, I think that's a good idea, but I don't think it's a good idea for right now. Those things need to be said, because in the end, we want a flourishing, viable business. We want success in all the areas of your life. And if you really want to be holistically healthy, I'm going to keep saying that, holistically healthy in all the areas of your life and your responsibilities, then what you need to do is put people in place who will help bring out the best in you. And if you really want to bring out the best in you, start being that person to others.
And I got one thing I want to make a little note on that question before you move on, because I faced it a lot. It's not only also benefit or reason why having a coach, I'm an advocate for it, is because, yes, you don't want yes men around you, but also you may get people that's contrary, trying to like give you, everybody, like when you start a business, oh, I got an idea. You can always do this and this and this. Happens all the time, right? And sometimes those ideas, and people want to spitball ideas to you, they sometimes want to tell you something that's contrary to what you want to do.
Send you off.
Right? And the biggest thing I found, the reason why you need a coach, is that you want someone to actually also understand business, right? Oftentimes, one of the biggest challenge, used to a couple of years ago, was even my own mother. My other mother, you know what I'm saying? She was like, "Oh, Stephen, your pricing is too high." She was like, "Your pricing too high. You should do something really, really cheap so you can get," she's going off of a different business model dealing with volume, much like if you was talking like the Dollar Tree or something like that, where you're dealing with a low price good, right? Possibly you're getting the goods from somewhere else. She don't understand it. She just know about, let's just make it so affordable. If you make it affordable, and affordable for her means cheap, then, more people will have the means to access it, not understanding how different models work for different type of businesses. And the business that I'm running, one, I'm not dealing with a product, right? That I can outsource my goods from, another third country or something like that, and get it shipped in for pennies on the dollar. So then I can charge you $2 because I'm only paying 10 cents. So my margin, she don't know nothing about that, but she got a great idea, right? Well, and all these type of things. And so all I'm saying is the reason why I found actually having a coach is very beneficial is because also, even if you want to get advice and guidance, and even though you're getting someone that may not be a yes man, you want someone to understand business as a whole and different business models and structures, so they can even give you right guidance accordingly, because a lot of people are going to tell you, which you probably already found, when people say, I'm going to start a business, somebody got always a good idea, whether it aligns with you saying yes and co-signing or they contradict you, but they don't know nothing about no dang on business. Let's keep it 1,000. I'm like, you don't know nothing that you're talking about, and you have never ran anything.
The main
so
thing,
I'm like, Jesus.
The main thing is that when you have a heart condition, you have a general doctor. You have a general practitioner. That general practitioner will say, I need to send you to a specialist. And so that specialist he sends you to for that heart issue is not going to be a podiatrist. So when you have an issue, when you have a situation, when you have an idea, you're not going to have all these different people speaking into that. I mean, thank you very much for your great idea, but I'm going this way right now, or I have someone that's helping me. Because when you are excited about a new idea, or excited about scaling, or excited about where your business is going and how successful your everything seems to be right now, you're going to be susceptible to ideas. And you have to be careful who speaks into that, because you are hungry, you are excited, you do want to grow, you are open to ideas, but not every idea is a good one. So be careful with who you have in your circle. So there's you. There's your inner circle, those voices that you can trust. Then there's the outer circle, those people that you can be around because you know that they're heading probably either in the direction you're going, or they've already been there and they're going in a new direction you may want to go later. So to have a coach in that inner circle, that first circle, will help you when you're dealing with all these other circles of voices. It's easy to fix a problem before it becomes a problem. It's harder to have to rein in all that money, all that time, all that excitement and energy, and you have to be careful also as a leader. You are drawing others with you on the routes you're going. So if you have to put the brakes on something else and come back, don't forget there's people that's going on that road with you and on that journey with you back and forth. And back. One assessment calls it a crazy maker. So you need to be careful. Yes. Because that coach will help you not give the wrong impression in all these areas of business and life. They will be the voice that you need. And I'm even helping, like I said earlier, other coaches who are speaking into other businesses in their lives. And in the process of doing that, you'd be surprised how many are giving you advice that's, well, here's what I would do if I were you. Beware of anyone, counselor, therapist, any friends, family that says, here's what I would do if I were you. You will never fit into that mold, and they will never fit into yours. So it's best to have a coach that sees you for who you are, sees your business as your business and how it can be played out according to what you would do and what you should do in your wheelhouse with what you have to bring to the table in investment and experience and excitement. Be careful, because you are you.
Yeah. See, that's why you need a coach. She's way better than. Because I was like, no. I'm sorry. I'm gonna behave.
Mr. Evans.
I'm sorry. I got tricked. It was in the thing.
Anyway.
Sorry.
So no, the last thing I want to say and touch on what you just said, having a coach that sees you as the individual and says, okay, meet you where they are. And okay, confession time. She did that with me. As you see, she's laughing. She's laughing because it's true. So Donna does not like to sell. I can sell. I sell if you actually want what I have. If you want it, I can be like, yes, this is good, this is why it's good, and you want it, great, let's get a deal made. But if I don't know you, and I don't know if you want it, I'm not the person he's the salesperson, I am not the salesperson. But if you ask me, I will tell you how wonderful it is, and then because you realize from what I'm saying, it's so wonderful, then you'll be like, oh, okay, I'll buy it. To me, that's not selling. That's just me sharing an idea of what I have, but you approached me. He's better at approaching people. And so TV recognized that in me and said, okay, look, you don't like selling, and I'm not going to sit here and try to make you sell, but you need to sell. So we're going to figure a way out that you don't have to approach anybody. You'll get the people to approach you, and then you can do what you do because you can sell. And so we came up, there was an event that I was going to, and she came up with an idea and said, hey, okay, you're just going to lay these out on the table, and then whoever comes up to you with the form filled out, you're going to talk to those people. And that's what we did, and it worked wonders. We had a number in mind that we were like, okay, I want to at least get these many people to talk to me, and we surpassed that number, and we had people come in and use our services. But it really was, I did not have to go and be like, hey, I work here, and you want to come here. No, that does not work for me. That does not work for me, because I'm not just going to like press myself on somebody. But if you ask me, I will tell you all of the benefits and why you should be there, and I don't even understand why you haven't been there yet. So thank you for meeting me where I was, and not forcing me to be like, well, Donna, you just need to sell, and you need to go over there and talk to that person, because you knew I was not going to do that.
Yeah, but that brings us to another topic. Mm-hmm. The other topic is sometimes you don't know yourself. We were just talking about that. Yeah. But if you have a coach who gets to know you, and you're not just a number on their checkoff list of how many clients they need to get this month, if you are my client and I'm trying to get to know you as an individual in order for me to help you with your business and let it be your way so that it'll be successful in the long run, the goal is not for me to try to shove something that I got out of a book down your throat, or I asked AI and AI told me this is the best thing for you to do. What I did was I customized my solution for your problem to who you are. Now, in the process of doing that, though, and I'm speaking to all of you business owners and executives and leaders and even would-be entrepreneurs, don't pay me to help you and then you don't listen.
Wait. People in the back, what you say?
People in the back saying.
People in the back, what did you say?
I'll put it in a different way. Okay, let's see, how can we put
So what she said was
what I said was, I can take your money and smile and be richer, and you will be no closer to your solution because you know it all, because you're not asking for help, because you feel like you can't get help, because you feel like you can't afford what were we talking about, like $500, when the problem is really going to end up costing you way more. That is contrary to healthy. You see, I use a safe word. Healthy. That's contrary to being healthy. That's contrary to being successful. You can't get advice. You can't get wisdom. You can't pay for it and then don't apply it. Mm-hmm. Don't say, oh, I don't need it. Don't say, oh, I got this. So the goal is, if you really want to be successful, come get the help. Contact me. I will customize the solutions to your problems around who you are, around your world, and around who you're trying to reach. But please, don't waste my time and yours by paying me, and then you ain't going to do it.
Amen.
Okay, thank you.
That's actually a good spot to kind of pivot to our next segment. I'm going to ask for you to participate in what we call salty questions. Now, Jordan, read the first salty questions for us.
Be nice, Jordan.
This is from our viewers, and maybe you can help give some insight.
Okay. So question one is.
Do you have a mic? Hold on. You got a mic on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, grab a mic. Hold on. So we make sure that the audience can hear
the question.
Be nice, Jordan.
Don't be nice. Be real.
The real. So your first question is, I'm trying to give myself permission to rest, but will people think I'm lazy if I step back or even say no? Why is slowing down still considered seen as a weakness?
Well, because you're trying to do things in your own efforts. If you have a situation and the only solution to that situation is you, the only place you can get wisdom is you, the only way in person who will even understand your situation is you. So I don't need to go anywhere else because I'm all in all. So let me do everything I can to fix this. Let me be all I need to be to me to be the solution for this or to reach that goal. The problem is you are not going to be able to find time to rest. You can't rest. If you stop, you fail. If you rest, it's all going to fall. If I don't do this, it won't get done. Oh, did I say that? If I don't do this, it won't get done. So you have a problem with delegation too. So if you are aware of the need for rest, then kudos. Take your rest. Your body may be telling you that. Your situation may be saying that. Your background, the experience of running 200 miles an hour and then coming up against a brick wall may be saying, you know what, you should apply rest. Schedule it in. And I believe, and I'm a big advocate of that. Rest is a part of healthy. And healthy will help you think clearer and make better decisions. A decision, hopefully, that will include getting a coach. Okay.
And I want to add, much like your very last point, and the question was about feeling bad about slowing down, which to me, I hear feeling some type of guilt. Or shame that you actually have to actually rest. And I like how you framed it about more of the healthy way of thinking about it is not rest as something separate from the process, but included to the process, and also healing part of the process. No different if you're thinking about working out and dealing with resting. You don't lift every single day. You don't run every single day, not to the same effort without having some type of periods of rest integrated. And we know, if you have taken this process serious, is that the real growth is in the rest, right? And so part of it at times, understand that you need to rest, like you said, to think clearer. I use it a lot of times. I'm exhausted, and sometimes I was like, you know what, I got to take this half the day just off. And I'm not doing really much of anything or whatever. I'm not thinking about the business because I need to go ahead and shut my mind off so I can rest and think more clearly.
And the rest is a part of success.
Yes.
It's not what happens when you succeed. It's what you apply and schedule in now in order to succeed.
All right, question number 2. Last question.
Last question. So I keep hearing about saunas and breath work helping with stress, but I don't really know how that stuff actually works. Or is it just another wild trend somebody's talking about now?
Okay. I'm going to... I am a client, a member of Halo Heat. Even before coming here, well, I'll go back a little bit, I had a double ear and sinus infection. And it's because I stayed away from Halo Heat for a while and was out of town and doing all of these things. And so, even before coming here today, I had to sit in, Jordan is a witness, I had to sit in the sauna and get a salt treatment because in order for me to be my healthy self, I really needed to stop my world and sit down and relax in the studio, and I do mean it's a beautiful relaxation moment. But to speak into why it's important and if it's a trend, the truth is I really didn't know all about it before I met these two. And of course, I had to dive into understanding what the business was about and everything in order for me to truly help them, not just take what they were saying it was, but I had to do some research. And research said that it not only helps with your respiratory, it also helps with everything else in your head and even muscular. Because of the red light that's also there, it's actually a great combination of 3 or 4 different healing tools, I'll call them. And these tools can be easily accessible when you come in, sit down in this private room within a private booth. You have a television there where you can put on soothing music. You can watch a show, relax. You can lay down. There's salt mist. And there's also the red light. There's the sauna, and all of which is helping my skin. I'm 60 years old. And I don't want to look 60 years old. So I have to take advantage of these things. And I am going to be a lifetime member of Halo Heat because it has proven to continue to help even in my weight loss journey. So when you find something that's able to help you in all these different areas of your health mentally, as well as emotionally, as well as physically, I just can't say why it can be even classified as a fad.
I think that's a great way to kind of stop and close.
No, good. Good.
Thank you so much for coming out and being our first guest, being the number one.
We're number one, not number 2.
So next time, make sure you subscribe on all your major platforms, hit that like button. Another Salt Sauna Soul.
Yes, and if you need a coach.
Yes, what is your name of your business?
My name is TV Stone. Mm-hmm. That stands for Tanya Vargas Stone. And the name of my business is MizBizNiz, and that's MizBizNiz. And you can find me at MizBizNiz.com. That's MizBizNiz.com.
And if they want to email you, how can they email you?
tvstone@MizBizNiz.com.
Nice. All right, till next time.
Till next time.
I'm Salt
Sauna
Soul. I got it now.
Thanks for tuning in to Salt Sauna Soul, where wellness meets wisdom, one episode at a time. If you found today's conversation inspiring, helpful, or just plain soul-soothing, we'd love it if you'd share it with someone who could use a little more calm, clarity, or community in their life. You can listen and subscribe on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or watch the full experience on YouTube. Just search Salt Sauna Soul and hit that follow or subscribe button. It helps more than you know. Got a wellness tip, question, or a story of transformation? We'd love to hear from you. Drop us a comment on YouTube or leave us a review wherever you're listening. It keeps the conversation going. This podcast has been powered by Halo Heat, Sauna Studios, where touchless wellness meets total restoration. Learn more or book your next session at haloheatsaunastudios.com. Until next time, breathe deep, stay warm, and keep nurturing your soul.